You hatch from an egg, somewhere in the rainforests of Southeast Asia. The shell splits open, and you push yourself out with your 6 legs, then drop straight down onto a leaf below. You're about the length of a grain of rice, pale green, and your body is soft. Your legs work right away, so you start climbing back up the plant stem toward the branches above. You reach a broad leaf after a few minutes of climbing and stop at the edge. You're hungry, so you bite into the leaf margin and start chewing. The taste means nothing to you, but your body knows what to do. You chew slowly and swallow, then take another bite. That's your first meal. Then something lands on the branch just above you. It's a small bird with a sharp beak, and it hops closer while scanning the leaves. You stop moving completely. Your legs lock in place and your body goes still, pressed flat against the stem. The bird tilts its head and moves even closer, now just a few body lengths away. It pecks at something next to you, pulls it off the branch, and swallows it. You don't move at all. Your green body blends into the stem, and after a few seconds the bird hops to another branch and leaves. You stay frozen for a long time, even after the bird is gone. Then slowly, you start moving again and climb higher up the plant. You find another leaf and begin feeding, taking small bites from the edge. A few weeks pass like this. You eat, you climb, and every time something moves nearby, you freeze. Your exoskeleton starts to feel tight against your body, and you know something is about to change. You'll need to shed it soon, and when you do, you'll be completely exposed. Skip forward a bit and you're 1 month old. Your exoskeleton has become too tight, so you climb to the underside of a branch and hang there with your legs gripping the bark. Then the split begins. A crack runs down your back, and your old shell starts to peel away from your body. You push yourself out slowly, pulling one leg free at a time, then your head, then your abdomen. The whole process takes hours, and when you finally pull yourself completely out, your new body is pale and soft. You can barely move, so you just hang there next to your old shell while your new exoskeleton starts to harden. Then you see movement below. A line of ants is climbing up the trunk toward you, and they're moving fast. They reach the branch and start spreading out, and some of them are heading straight in your direction. You need to get away, so you try to move your legs, but they're still too soft and weak. The ants get closer, now just a few body lengths away, so you force your legs to work and start crawling along the branch. Your movements are slow and clumsy, but you manage to reach a dead leaf that's curled up at the edge. You crawl underneath it and press your body flat against the wood. The ants pass by without finding you, and after a while, the Y move back down the trunk. You stay under the leaf for the rest of the day, and by the next morning, your exoskeleton has hardened. You're slightly bigger now, almost twice the length you were before, and your color has deepened to a darker green. You climb out from under the leaf and move higher up the plant, where the leaves are younger and easier to chew. You'll molt 5 more times before you're fully grown, and each time, you'll need to survive those hours when anything can kill you. You're 3 months old now, and you've molted twice more. You're feeding on a branch when something moves above you. A small lizard appears on the bark, and it's scanning the leaves with its head turning side to side. You freeze completely with your body pressed flat against the branch, but the lizard keeps moving closer. Then it stops and looks directly at you. It lunges forward with its mouth opening wide, so you let go of the branch and drop. You fall straight down through the leaves and vines, hitting surfaces as you tumble, and then you land on a lower branch. But the lizard grabbed your rear leg before you fell, and now that leg is still up there in its mouth. You detached it at the joint where it connects to your body, so there's a clean break and no blood. You start climbing away on 5 legs, moving slower than before but still able to hold on. Above you, the lizard is chewing on your leg, and after a few seconds, it swallows the piece and walks away in the opposite direction. You keep climbing down until you reach a thick cluster of leaves near the base of the plant. You push yourself into the middle of the cluster where the stems cross over each other, making a sheltered spot. Then you stop moving and start feeding on the nearest leaf. The missing leg makes climbing harder, and you have to adjust how you grip the stems, but you can still move when you need to. Over the next few weeks, you stay in this area where the leaves are dense and the branches form a tangle. The leg will grow back slowly with each molt, a little longer every time. But right now, you're smaller and slower, and something else will notice that eventually. At 5 months old, you're halfway to your final size. You're feeding on a leaf when a small wasp lands on the branch below you. It walks across the bark with its antennae moving constantly, and then it stops and turns in your direction. You freeze immediately with your body pressed against the stem, trying to blend in like you always do. But the wasp starts walking straight toward you, moving faster now, and its antennae are pointing at your body. You try to let go and drop, but before you can move, the wasp reaches you and curves its abdomen forward. Then it stings you in the side, just below your thorax, and you feel the sharp point push into your exoskeleton. The wasp holds the position for a few seconds, pumping something into your body, and then it pulls its stinger out and flies away. You stay still for a while, waiting to see what happens next, but nothing changes. Your legs still work and you can still move normally, so you start feeding again like the sting never happened. Over the next few weeks, you keep eating and molting, and everything seems the same as before. Your missing leg has started growing back, now just a small stub where the joint used to be. You climb higher into the plant and find better leaves to feed on, and your body continues to grow with each molt. But inside your abdomen, something else is growing too. The wasp laid eggs when it stung you. And those eggs have been developing this whole time, feeding on your body from the inside. You can't see them and you can't feel them, but they're there. And soon, they'll be ready to come out. You're 7 months old when your final molt begins. Your exoskeleton is tight again, so you climb to the underside of a thick branch and hang there upside down with all 6 legs gripping the bark. Your lost leg has grown back completely over the past few molts, so now you have full use of all your limbs again. Then the split starts down your back, and you begin pulling yourself out of the old shell. This time takes longer than before because your body is much bigger, but eventually you slide free and hang next to the empty shell. You're fully grown now, about as long as a human finger, and your color has shifted to a deep brown that matches the bark perfectly. Your body has ridges and bumps that make you look exactly like a twig, and small wing buds have formed on your back. They're too small to use for flying, but they're there. Then, while your new exoskeleton is still soft, you feel movement inside your abdomen. Something is pushing against the inside of your body wall, and then the skin breaks open near your side. Small white larvae start coming out through the hole, one after another, and they drop to the ground below. There are 5 of them in total, each one about the size of a grain of rice, and they fall through the leaves and disappear. The hole in your side stays open for the rest of the day, but by the next morning, it has started to close. The edges of the wound pull together slowly as your exoskeleton hardens, and after a few days, the opening is mostly sealed. You can still see where it happened, a small scar on your abdomen, but you're alive. You're an adult now, and somehow, you survived something that kills most stick insects before they reach this stage. Skip forward 2 months, and you're feeding on a branch when another stick insect climbs onto the same plant. It's a male, slightly smaller than you, and he's moving slowly along the stem with his antennae reaching forward. He gets closer and his antennae touch your body, moving across your back and sides. Then he climbs onto your back and positions himself there, gripping your thorax with his front legs. He stays mounted on your back for the next few hours, and during that time, mating happens. You keep feeding while he's there, chewing on leaves and moving from branch to branch, and his weight barely affects you. He holds on tight with his legs, so he doesn't fall off when you climb. After the mating is complete, he still doesn't leave. He stays on your back for the rest of the day and through the next morning, just sitting there while you move around the plant. Then, after almost 2 full days, he finally climbs off your back and moves to a different branch. You watch him walk away and disappear into the leaves above, and then you go back to feeding. Over the next few weeks, your abdomen starts to swell as eggs develop inside your body. They grow slowly, taking up more space, and you can see the change in your shape. You need to eat more now to support the eggs, so you spend most of your time feeding and moving between plants to find fresh leaves. The eggs will be ready soon, and when they are, you'll start dropping them one at a time onto the forest floor below. Each one will look like a small seed, and they'll scatter across the ground where leaf litter covers everything. Some of them will hatch eventually, but you'll never know which ones. You're 11 months old now, and your abdomen is heavy with eggs. You're climbing along a branch when the first egg drops. It falls from the tip of your abdomen and tumbles down through the leaves, bouncing once on a lower branch before hitting the forest floor. The egg is small and round, brown with white markings, and it looks exactly like a seed. Over the next few weeks, you drop more eggs while you feed and move between plants. Each one falls the same way, dropping straight down and landing somewhere in the leaf litter below. Then one day, you're walking along a branch when you step directly into something sticky. Silk strands wrap around your front legs, and when you try to pull back, more strands stick to your other legs. You're caught in a spider web, and the more you struggle, the more tangled you become. You thrash your body from side to side, pulling hard with your legs, and some of the silk starts to break. You keep pulling, yanking one leg free at a time, and after a few minutes of struggling, you manage to break loose. Pieces of silk are still stuck to your legs and body, but you're out of the web. You need to move to a safer area, so you climb down from that plant and walk across the forest floor to a different tree. The climb up takes a long time because you're moving carefully, testing each surface before putting your weight on it. When you reach the middle section of the tree, you find branches that are more open with fewer webs between them. You start feeding again and continue dropping eggs, one every few days, and they fall to the ground below where they'll stay buried in the leaves until they hatch months from now. You're over a year old when the rain comes. Water starts falling in heavy drops, hitting the leaves around you and running down the branches. Your legs are gripping the bark, but the surface is getting wetter and harder to hold onto. Then a large drop hits you directly on your back and your grip loosens. You try to hold on tighter, but another drop hits and your front legs slip. You fall off the branch and drop straight down through the leaves. You hit several surfaces on the way down, bouncing off stems and leaves, and then you land hard on the forest floor. Your legs are twisted beneath you, and when you try to stand, one of your rear legs won't move properly. You push yourself up with the other 5 legs and try to right your body, but your movements are slow and awkward. You need to climb back up to safety, so you start moving toward the nearest tree trunk, dragging your broken leg behind you. But before you reach the trunk, you see movement across the forest floor. A long column of army ants is marching in your direction, hundreds of them moving together in a line. They're heading straight toward you, and they're getting closer. You try to move faster, but your broken leg slows you down, and the ants reach you before you can get away. The first few ants climb onto your legs, then more come up your body, and within seconds, you're covered in them. You try to shake them off, moving your legs and twisting your body, but there are too many. They bite into your exoskeleton and start pulling pieces away, working together to break you down. Your legs stop moving after a while, and the ants continue their work. Your eggs are buried somewhere in the leaf litter around you, scattered across the forest floor, and some of them will hatch. Life as a stick insect might be rough, but there's another animal out there that has it way worse. Trust me, it's wild. Check out the video and see for yourself.